I've been making free CC0 assets for you to use in your project. There's over 130 free CC0 SciFi assets included in this pack. CC0 means you can use them for personal or commercial work with no attribution required. I do this because I love you artists and devs. You're all awesome, and I want to see more games. The best place to get these assets is my Patreon, where every month I give away a pack of free patron-exclusive assets. That's right, even free members get exclusive goodies on my Patreon. Patrons of the medium garb tier or higher also get weekly asset booster packs of 10 exclusive themed assets. That's 40 extra assets per month that you can't get anywhere else, as well as all of the related blend files so you can learn from them or tweak the assets as you like. So if you want to support me, the creation of these assets, and my tutorials, stop by my Patreon linked in the description and pitch in however you can. To celebrate the completion of the SciFi asset pack, I'm going to be making a space bolty, and I'm going to show you that entire process, start to finish, in Clip Studio Paint. I'll also be using the brand new Canvas 13 Gen 3 from Huion, who were kind enough to send me one to test out. For an in-depth review of the brand new Canvas 13, you can check out this video right here. This video is going to be a little bit different because I'm just going to be talking over my process as I draw something. I've done something similar in the tutorial where I show you how to use external painting software with Blender in real time, which you can check out here. And right now I'm just using the shape carving method to block out a silhouette. I've covered the shape carving method in this video here, as have many other more competent art YouTubers. Basically right now, I'm just blocking out kind of a gear encrusted kind of chunky astronaut with all kinds of connections and pipes and everything leading everywhere. And I think in the end I decided it was just a bit too detail rich. This next one I'm going for is much slimmer, obviously, much leaner, just an oxygen tank and a little bit of light armor. And it's helping to warm up, but I'm realizing as I go that it's not quite matching the aesthetic I want. This one's getting closer. I'm gonna spend a minute, basically waste some time going away from that one, because the aesthetic I'm after is similar to the one in the SciFi Assets pack, which is pretty simple, pared down, a little bit cartoony. So right now I'm doing a more kind of realistic block out of a human body, which I abandoned when I realized this is not at all in the style that I'm going for, and Bolty's face would look really strange on top. So the closest one to the style I'm interested in is this chibi one, and I'm gonna create some vector layers in Clip Studio Paint and start blocking in the actual kind of line work and a more refined design of what I want the spacesuit to look like. It's still going to be super elementary, super simple, because the asset pack is simple that way, and so is kind of Bolty's design. So it's not going to be anything crazy, but it should read as a spacesuit by the time I'm done with it. So going to use some symmetry to save time. You'll see me as I go along, I start to try to break the symmetry, and then I decide it's not worth it. I can always go in and alter this afterwards, but I just want to get the basic design done. So adding in some knee armor, boots, that kind of stuff. I like to use vector layers in Clip Studio Paint because you can adjust all of the lines afterwards. A raster layer, obviously you can't, but Clip Studio Paint has all kinds of tools for adjusting line width after. Yeah, here I am trying to break symmetry before I decide that's also a terrible idea. What I might do later is go in and into Clip Studio Paint and cut this up into different layers and then animate it. It's pretty easy to do, just using pins and transforms. I'll draw a scuffed hand before I draw another scuffed hand, but I settle on the second scuffed hand, so there's that. I have been slightly obsessed with space lately, so that might have something to do with the SciFi assets and the space Bolty. I've been very much enjoying all things sci-fi, including real-life science fact, and the incredible work that's being done with rocketry and stuff right now by all kinds of people. Alright, and we're drawing near the close of the line art, so I'm going to add some raster layers underneath the vector layers and start filling them in. I often try to use the fill tool in Clip Studio Paint to refer to other layers, but I think it actually might be faster still just to use the lasso fill. I think I just have to dial in my settings a little better, probably. Because I've seen people do it just ultra quickly. I'll also split apart each of these material layers essentially so that I can paint on them separately after. And it will be pretty rudimentary. But I will color correct it afterwards, and as you'll see, I'll put in a little placeholder face, and then near the end I'll add Bolty in. Just trying to make decisions about what colors should go where to break up the space. I'm more or less happy with the design of the spacesuit, so can always go back in and tweak it later as well. Alright, so here's a little temporary face. Just checking blend modes to see which one will work. In the end, it wasn't the one I used for Bolty's face, but... And now I'm just using the separated material layers as clipping masks, essentially to contain the paint. And like I said, it's very rudimentary kind of material information here. Nothing crazy. But essentially, it should read something like fabric, something like some composite material, and then something like metal. Just enough to give you a sense of what the material is. Again, it's very similar to the theme of the asset pack. Just basic shading around the outside, anywhere that would catch shadows. And that's pretty much it for the painting. So now I'm gonna add in Bolty's head. Just gonna trim it down. Do some basic color correction to match the suit to Bolty's head. And crop it. And we're gonna bring it into Affinity Photo, just for some simple color correction and effects. I'm gonna outline Bolty's head, since there's an outline on everything else. And then I'll be quite happy after that. That's about it. So go check out the SciFi assets and let me know what you think. And thank you to my patrons, without whom I could not make these videos. Alright everyone, I'll be back soon with another video. Deuces.